taking over, that's a promise, not a threat.
Uppercut season off top, you stop breathing.
But yeah, get into this preview real quick because as we mentioned before, you know, the fact that ESPN is doing a card like this on a Thursday, like that shit is like it's still crazy for me to even say that this fight's a double fight like this, and I think it's because of Heisman night. But you know, it's just crazy to me that we're getting a doubleheader like this
on the Thursday.
As we get Shakur Stevenson facing Edwin Santos for the vacant WBC lightweight title. And the funny thing is too is like we all thought that because Edwin Santos was not the original opponent. Frank Martin was the original opponent, and then there was a whole bunch of he said this, he said that, and Frank Martin kind of dropped out of the fight. Which was disappointing because I think everyone wanted to see Shakur versus Frank Martin. Like, that fight had buzz.
Yeah, that was disappointment.
Yeah. Oh, Deontay Jones, trust me, when we're done talking about this preview, bro, I'm going to rant about your Cowboys, bro. You're going to get that work, bro. Just wait till I get through this preview. But yeah, like, and it's just, because Frank Martin, and the fun things too is like, because it's hard to say, you know, if it's Shakur's fault, because Shakur got himself another opponent in Edwin Santos. Edwin Santos pretty much got his shot by just saying he's available on Twitter. Like
he's been pushing for it, so he you know, people want to say Frank Martin ducked. That's neither here nor there. Seems like it, but Dylan has been wanting to smoke with Shakur for a minute. You know, showing up to his city, quote unquote. You know, doing the whole theatrics.
Yeah, and it was, but like I said, because Frank Martin, because the only reason why you can say that Frank, like I'll say we're still waiting because it all depends on who Frank Martin is facing. Now, if Frank Martin is facing someone of a lesser variety, then it'll be he ducked. You know, he ducked, and you don't want to say that because you know Frank Martin is a good fighter, but if you have a chance to fight a top pound for pound fighter for a vacant title, why won't you do it? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and you're but like I said, I'm not saying the Frank Martin duck until we figure out who's actually fighting next. But shout out to Edwin Santos for showing initiative. Like dude said, like, wait a minute, hold up, I'm next in the rankings. Like I want this fight, and he got it pretty much. Yeah. Shakur was like, yeah, I'm gonna send you the contract, and the shit got made. And truthfully, I like to hear more fights being made that way. You know, like I said, and it was like I say, and I'm excited about this fight too because you know, Edwin Santos at least has some momentum going into this fight. You know, he had the win against Joseph Adorno this summer, and then last year, you know, he scored an upset. Knocking out Jose Valenzuela out in 3 rounds in a brutally too at that. You know what I'm saying? Like that. And as I mentioned before, like he's on a 3-fight win streak since taking the loss to William Foster III on Showbox.
Yeah. He had that fight, which I was hyping up that I was kind of wrong about, the Adorno fight. But he dominated Adorno. He
dominated, yeah.
But I expect to be a little more competitive, which obviously it wasn't at all.
Yeah, I don't know what Adorno was doing that day. Like, you know, Adorno was on some other shit that day. He wasn't focused. Yeah. You know, but hey, sometimes you know, but you know, you have to stay ready. So you know, Del Santos was, he got the victory. So now we have basically, like I said, in the WBC lightweight title. Now, as we all know, WBC likes to do its champion emeritus status because Devin Haney, for all intents and purposes, you know, is still the top guy. Devin Haney is still the top guy at lightweight. Like he's unquestionably the top lightweight in the world. And nothing can take that from him. No, it's not Tank. It's not Shakur. It's not Pitbull Cruz. You know, it's Devin Haney. Devin Haney is the top lightweight.
Even though I don't see him fighting at the weight anymore, he does have 3 of the belts. So even though I don't see him fighting at lightweight again, it's just
but as of right now, he holds all the belts. And
minus one, right? Because this one's for WBC, so he kind of dropped this one in a sense.
He dropped it in a sense, but I think the rule is obviously if he does go back to lightweight, he has the right to challenge whoever.
He gets first dibs. He gets first dibs.
He gets first dibs at Shakur. And truthfully, why wouldn't you want to see that fight? like why wouldn't you want to see that?
Because I figure we're going to see that down the line, maybe like at welterweight. You know, like both guys are undefeated by then. I just don't see it happening right now because Haney can barely make. You saw Haney look ghoulish at 135 the past few fights at weigh-ins. You know,
I mean, I've been to two Devin Haney fights. Yeah, I've seen it like up and close, bro. Like Devin Haney is Devin. You know, motherfucker be on thinner status, like at the weigh-ins and shit like that.
Yeah, this is the 140
but he's a professional, so I respect it because dude is professional. He comes in and he's literally doing the things that he needs to do to make fights and win these fights and
to carve a legacy, right? Because I mean Shakur, for all the praise he gets, he did lose the belts and the skills.
Yeah, exactly. So Shakur and Del Santos. Now Del Santos has never been KO'd before, and he has lost on a close split decision. So Pilot, how do you see Stevenson and Del Santos playing out, and what's your prediction?
I'm gonna be optimistic here. I think I've said this before, but I want Shakur to get some knockouts. I know he stopped Yoshino and dominated the hell out of Yoshino.
Yeah, hell yeah, he did.
They dominated him because a lot of people were quote unquote. I wouldn't say they're ducking him, but a lot of people were turning down the fight because with Shakur, it's like, it's a low. The risk of getting schooled the way you might not be worth it for some of those some of those guys in the rankings. I guess until he gets a belt at least. Because Shakur does have skills. I think he only had one fight at 135, but he's like a pound for pound future great, right? He's
absolutely. Because the thing is, though, dude is barely losing rounds.
He doesn't lose rounds much, and I do wonder about his chin. Eventually, someone could crack the half Puerto Rican, but I don't think it's going to be Edwin. I think Edwin will test him a little bit. I just hope it's not one of those Shakur Nakatiya where Shakur just doesn't engage at all and just sweet science is 12 11-1 type shit. Go ahead, motherfucker.
Yeah, no, I agree because I know that was a big thing too. Because I remember, of course, Stevenson was the main event following after fucking Felix Verdejo got knocked out. And we're thinking about against Toka Khan Clary, and they're like, oh, okay, he's gonna get rid of dude, and then instead he stunk it out in the main event, and then the Nakatiya fight was worse, because he sweet scienced the fuck out of him, even knocked him down, but he was afraid to engage.
You need to apologize on Twitter after. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
you literally have to say that. You know what I'm saying? It's Twitter fingers, but obviously, I'm gonna be optimistic and just say he's gonna get another KO here, like in round 9. It could very well be the case where it's just a 9-3 sort of a dominant decision win, but I'm hoping, because when I think about the lightweights, I try not to count Haney. I know he has 3 belts and he has all. I don't know he's gonna fight there again, but Tank gets the knockouts, and I think Shakur wants to I saw Shakur at the football game, on Fox or whatever, just getting some shine there. So yeah, I think Shakur wants to be as great as he's touted to be, and I think getting a knockout on a dude who is decently well known in the Boston community would be a nice cap on the feather for him. So I'll say round 9.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I do think because obviously the biggest thing about what makes Shakur Stevenson difficult to fight is the fact that he's so defensively responsible. Like I said, usually by now, if someone has about 20 fights, give or take, so you at least have an idea of how he would actually take his power and everything like that. Like, have an idea on how But like I said, we've barely seen Shakur take any solid shots like that. And he's fought a Valdez, he's fought a Nakatiya, he's fought a Joet Gonzalez. These are guys that can that have more than enough pop to actually do some damage. And he hasn't landed anything on them. Like they land nothing on him. What I'm saying?
I know Oscar Valdez. I mean, I know he did say in the Oscar Valdez fight. I know you saw the clip. Oh, Oscar Valdez hurt me with a body shot, but I never said anything. I don't know why he said that on the podcast, but
yeah.
You know, he had a good poker face because nobody could tell he was hurt by that body shot.
Right. Hey, something. I mean, if you're sparring someone like Terrence Crawford, you probably learn how to do a poker face. You know, from anyone.
Better, yeah.
Yeah. But I will say this though. I mean, I honestly think Del Santos will. I think Del Santos will be game, but I think Shakur's defense and his boxing will just keep him frustrated. It'll get him to the point where Del Santos will almost be gun shy to throw and have fear of being countered. And then I honestly don't. As much as I want to say not, I actually see this thing going the distance. I just think. I think Shakur will be more offensive because I think he realizes that, you know, if you want a tank fight or you want people more interest to a tank fight or a Haney fight, you gotta go on the offensive. But I don't think he has the power to stop Edwin Del Santos like that though. So I think Santos will probably first he'll just get outboxed and then he'll just probably get beaten up down the stretch. So I'm thinking Shakur's just going to win a decision, a very clear decision. I'm talking about.
This seems realistic. Would it make you like surprised, or I don't know what the word is, but if he was to get the stoppage, would that be like kind of damn okay Shakur type of thing?
Mildly surprised, but you know what? You know that's why we have betting apps. So you know what? Let me go see what FanDuel's talking about. You know, yes, you know, FanDuel, you know, because gambling is legal in Massachusetts. They legalized it this year. So, you know, I've been having a lot of fun using this, you know, but gamble responsibly, people. Like, you know, only gamble what you can afford to lose.
Disclaimer, if you have an issue, call Google.
Yeah, Google
the number.
You know, FanDuel actually has a number on here. If you have a gambling problem, they can tell you to call. You know, it's just funny as hell.
Generous neighbors, generous enabling.
Yeah, right now I don't have an active bet, but I will have one very soon. So if we look at the money line for Stevenson Del Santos, Stevenson is a minus 1350 favorite. Del Santos is a plus 720.
Ooh,
okay. Yeah, so now, if we go for method of victory, a Stevenson points decision obviously is minus 250. Stevenson KO TKO is plus 320. So there's probably some value in putting some money on that. A draw is plus 1700, and so is an Edwin Del Santos points of decision is also 1700, and Santos KOing him is plus 920.
Damn. So it seems policy somewhat juicy odds, but I don't know.
Yeah, like the only honestly, if I was to put anything on there, I'd put money on Stevenson, maybe on the Stevenson KO, because at least that seems like likely. But
yeah,
with what you're talking about, Pilot, in terms of the round, well, I don't think they don't have the individual round here. They just have like the group round bettings and stuff like that. But in one bet, if Stevenson wins between 7 and 12, like you said, 9, it's plus 500. Or another one is if it's 7 and 9, it's plus 1,000. So like, yeah, there's some pretty decent odds for this fight. You know, but I find more value in putting some money on the maybe on a Shakur KO. Because you're not gonna win a decision.
Yeah, no, you're not gonna win a decision. Yeah, you're not gonna win shit.
Yeah, like if Stevenson loses a decision, you know, and yeah, that must mean that the stars aligned for fucking Edwin Del Santos. Like seriously.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
A technical decision, that's a slow, but a 12-round decision, like nah, like absolutely not. But let's say, you know, like I said, hopefully Shakur shows up and shows the fuck out. Because, like I said, you know, lightweight right now is steaming hot. It's like scorching hot, and Shakur can possibly lead the lightweights after the Devin Haney era officially comes to an end, whenever that will be.
Mm-hmm. Maybe a month and 3 days from now, hopefully.
Maybe.
if he beats Regis.
And then also too, it has a co-main too, because I don't think they haven't released the full card yet. At least I don't think they have. But the co-main though is one Emanuel Navarrete, the current WBO super featherweight champion, and he will be defending against Robson Conceicao. Of course, Conceicao is more known for two things. He's known for the Valdez fight, in which Valdez this was the T fight, in which Valdez popped dirty, but for whatever reason, the local commission in Arizona let him fight anyways, all hopped up on goofballs and shit, And Valdez, although was getting outworked early by dude, Conceicao kind of faded down the stretch and allowed Valdez to claw himself back and actually win the fight. And I have no problem with that decision. I just have a problem with Valdez fighting with specialty in the system and didn't get stripped of his belt.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right. Yeah, that was stupid crazy. And then of course the Shakur Stevenson fight, where Shakur missed weight on his belts, so all his belts were vacant. And truthfully, that's probably the only blemish you can say for Shakur Stevenson, is because it wasn't very professional that he blew weight like he did and lost his belts on the scales.
He was like 2, at least almost 3 pounds over. So it was like, damn, it was like fuck it, I'm not gonna make the weight, so I'm not gonna kill myself to make it. Basically, it has to be, When you're professional,
that wasn't professional. I didn't like that. And then like I said, Conceicao had nothing for him. Like, Stevenson, did Stevenson things. So now he's fighting Emanuel Navarrete, who, again, Emanuel Navarrete is probably one of the most difficult fighters around. Like, Emanuel Navarrete has beaten so many different types of fighters. Like, obviously, we all know he came into public view, when he fought Isaac Dogbay, and their first fight was fucking ridiculous, because like I said, he came out of nowhere and outworked Dogbay down the stretch. And Dogbay, God bless him, he tried so fucking hard. Like, he fought his heart out to keep his belt, but he had nothing for him. And then he stopped Dogbay in the rematch.
The first fight was pretty sad because there was water all over Dogbay's corner and shit. Like, I remember just it being a mess, and because
Dogbay was honestly a candidate for Fighter of the Year. Like, he didn't have to take that fight too. That was his fourth fight of that year, that calendar year. He didn't have to take that fight. Like, that was just a war. That was supposed to be like a warm up, and he ended up losing his belt.
Yeah. I mean, when you see the size difference, like, Dogbay is a short, the short 122, and Navarrete is tall as fuck. He could probably top out at 135, really,
Yeah, but then after that, though, it's just like the wins that dude was getting, like the quality ones, like the Ruben Villa win. I know LB was the one, was thinking that Villa would actually take him apart because Villa is a good technical fighter. And instead, Villa just could not handle the unorthodox attacks that dude was throwing. What Navarrete was throwing at him, and it's just like dude was just because Navarrete is an elite volume puncher. He's a volume puncher that can actually punch, and those are the worst guys. Most people don't like to deal with that because they do a whole lot of damage.
It's a lot. Wait, real quick, was it Baez the one that me and you were watching? We both thought he was losing until he got knocked out. Which fight was that? The one where
that was the Baez fight. That one was just, that was the first time you probably really saw, like, a real like a dent in his armor, because dude was looking untouchable. Like the Christopher Diaz fight, that was a war. He knocked him out. He gave Joel Gonzalez probably his worst beating to date. Like, that was a horrific beating he handed out to him. Like, Joel Gonzalez didn't even bother to say that he won the fight. He was just like, I lost. My man fought a good fight. We'll fight again. But the Baez fight, though, that was an alarming fight because I remember me and you both watched that live. And we were thinking to myself, like, I was like, God damn, like, Baez is actually putting his foot in Navarrete's.
Then he questioned Navarrete's boxing skills, which obviously in the fight before this one, he kind of got me back on his stock. You know what I mean? Because he looked kind of bad. He was getting outboxed, getting beat to the punch.
Yeah,
the whole fight.
Yeah, and then he ends it. You know, he Wilders himself with stopping Drew with a body shot, and then earlier this year, you know, he had the fight with Liam Wilson, which is a Fight of the Year candidate. Like, that shit was back and fucking forth. Like, you know, Navarrete goes down. And he's almost knocked out several times in the fight, but
that's when he got the 20-second count, right?
Yeah, that's when he got the 20-second count. Yeah, yeah. No, people were calling that shit out. And then, you know, he raised Liam Wilson's stock too with the fight. But that was a great back and forth gut check fight. And then he followed it up about 3 months ago by beating the shit out of Oscar Valdez. And that's not even hyperbole too. That was another Fight of the Year candidate too, though. Like, he had two really hard brawls. Like Valdez, Valdez, you know, he had Valdez crying in his locker room and shit, all with the dirty cameras on him and everything. And truthfully, I know Robson Conceicao is a decent fighter, is a good fighter, but I don't see him having that type of moment against Navarrete. Like, honestly, I'm thinking like once because Navarrete, though, it takes him a little while to warm up. Like, Navarrete's not the type of guy to like go like full speed ahead. Like, he will, you know, he does take some time to warm. But once he does, he's a bastard to fight. And honestly, I think he's gonna get Conceicao out of there probably by like round 8 or something like that. So that's my prediction. What about you, Pilot?
Yeah, I mean, a similar vibe. I think Navarrete, you know, he had that Baez fight, that Liam Wilson fight that kind of made me like, is he a struggle boxer? But I feel like he's hit his groove now. I don't know if he's overstayed his weight at 130 because he is a big dude. But he showed an element in the Oscar Valdez fight I didn't know he had. You know, he was kind of bouncing in and out, you know, setting up the jab. Just, you know, it was a different Navarrete, you know, and I think he's going to build on that. And I think he's trending upwards because now he's hitting those top 10 lists, I feel like, pound for pound, right? I mean, it feels like he's like a pound for pound fighter on, you know, entering those lists, 8-ish. I don't know. He has had a hell of a run. And Robson Conceicao has kind of been trending downwards. I think, you know, he's kind of been on a few other. I know he had a bigger fight that was canceled. I think it was against Abraham Nova, but that fight got kind of sort of derailed. You know, his passport or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he has his I just think you know, that Oscar Valdez fight he had was like the best of him, and it hasn't really been, you know, he hasn't captured that magic since. You know, the fight he got robbed supposedly against Oscar Valdez. So I just think overall, Navarrete will be too long for him. Pause and beat him to the punch every time and get a knockout probably in round 6. Yeah.
And so far, because I'm just taking a look at the odds for him. As of right now, they only have the money line on him. Like none of the like the method of victory. And so far, Conceicao is a plus 700 underdog. Navarrete a minus 1300 favorite. So, yeah. Again, these are
cheese on that. You can win some cheese on that fight if Robson won. If you want to donate some money.
Yeah, no. And I can say it too, like, because like I said, Navarrete hasn't. I mean, Navarrete has looked more beatable, but not really. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean, the Liam Wilson fight was pretty bad. He got hit pretty bad and knocked down pretty bad. But I mean, you know, Mexican fighters just got retarded chins, man. They just got that freaking something in them, man. That just is just a warrior in them, man. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, he is. Yeah, I mean, like now, and like I said, it's funny that Navarrete does have a loss. I mean, he has an early loss in his record. Like, it's a loss that you can't even find a video because I be wondering how was he beaten? You know, because like I said, Navarrete's fought more than enough people that could have actually beaten he by now. And he
got that one loss way early on, but yeah, that was way early on. So.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So like but like I said, I look forward to it because like I said, Thursday the 16th, we're not going to be casting. We're going to be watching the fight, and I don't think there were any other fights that were announced this yet, because I think they've just all been selling. They've all been on that, selling those two particular fights.
Yeah, I mean, they got the Brian Norman, who's been signed to Top Rank after he had some like Tank and Crawford, sparring stories, but he'd been on the welterweight, been on Top Rank twice, and hasn't produced a knockout, even though he has a high percentage for KO, and he just hasn't really, he's fighting some undefeated guy named Quentin Randall, who's another welterweight, but I'm not sure what else is on that card, to be honest.
Yeah, because I know when I look, because Top Rank sends us everything, but I don't think they've, because right now, okay, here we go. Yeah, they actually do have it. So yeah, Brian Norman is on there, and Quentin Randall, which is a good fight. Although I'm not 100%, convinced on Brian Norman, because I was there live earlier this year when I saw Brian Norman fight for this Top Rank debut, and he did
the Asian guy. When you find the Asian guy.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, and you're supposed to get him out of there. He might have hurt him, but he kind of became nothing after. That kind of just became a long ass 8 or 10 rounder after he couldn't get him out.
Yeah, it was kind of like it was kind of like a struggle shit. It was kind of struggle shit. And then that's a weight division like welterweight where Top Rank, so they need somebody to fill that void of a new. I mean, they got Centillion, but they don't have you have a chance. He could be the premier welterweight, knockout guy, but you can't get the knockout since you've been on the big leagues. Well, right now Santillan is pretty much probably their marquee welterweight for now.
Yeah, for now.
With that victory that he got. Well, yeah, Brian Norman though, because you think with the 24-0-19 KOs, you think he's a bad motherfucker, but I haven't seen that yet. Not yet.
I mean, again, he's made his name like giving Crawford and Tank and other guys, hard sparring, but and he does have a high, 22 wins, 19 KO type thing, but he ain't getting knocked since you've been, with Top Rank. So
yeah, exactly. So now would be a perfect fucking time to start. And then also too, we have hold on. So we have Floyd Cashflow Diaz and Max Ornelas also fighting. That's a good little prospect fight. And then probably the most interesting undercard fight of there. We got Troy Isley 10-0 with 4 knockouts facing Vladimir Hernandez. That is a fucking that is good. If there's a gut check fight for Troy Isley, is this one, because Vladimir Hernandez is on a roll right now.
He's the prospect killer. He beat Tank's big bro, little bro, Truck Simpson. Truck Simpson was a highly talented PBC. I was watching that. Shouts out. We need OTX back. Fuck, he was on OTX and he lost to 0 in a tough fight. Man, that was Vladimir Hernandez is the 154 fucking.
See, look, for Lukey, he is someone who I'd call a gatekeeper, because he's capable of springing upsets, but he does lose to people that he's supposed to lose to, like Madrimov and Sissoko have wins over him. And then, but then also too, he has wins over Alfredo Angulo, a faded version of him, but a win, as well as upsetting J-Rock. And then he lost to Jesus Ramos, and who doesn't? You know what I mean? So,
yeah, Lubin, kind of,
okay. Of course. But then he rebounded and took another 0 from Lorenzo Truck Simpson on the overtime cards. So yeah, no, I look forward to it, because Troy Isley can, honestly, if there's odds on that fight, and they'll probably be released closer to the fight, and I see that, I will put money on Hernandez actually upsetting Isley. That's just me though, because I just feel, because Isley has shown.
I just think you don't have the power. He's a good boxer. I mean, I think he has a little bit more tool in his toolkit than Truck obviously did. Because Truck, watching that fight, Truck was thinking he was Tank, because he looked up to Tank. He was trying to get that one shot like Tank, and it just wasn't happening. And he got worn out. Because Vladimir's that kind of fighter. I think Isley, if Isley wins that fight, then he might, he's legit. I mean, he's a legit fighter anyway. I'm just saying. But if Isley can win that fight, that'd be Vladimir Hernandez doesn't have the best record, but real ones know that's a really
the real ones know that he Isley's in for a fight on that one. And that's what. And then we have Abdullah Mason. Again, lightweight prospect, someone who might be the future of the lightweight division, facing Jose Cardenas. That's a good fucking fight. And then we have Andres Cortez, who was who saw in the summer knocking out Xavier Martinez in a very underrated fight.
That was a good fight.
Yeah. I feel sorry for Xavier Martinez. Xavier Martinez was undefeated when he left PBC to come to Top Rank because he wanted because they were stronger, I think, at 126 or 130, and he's been taking nothing but L's since.
Yeah. He has.
Yeah. Like
Castro Diaz, I like Castro Diaz. I'm not gonna lie though. I know he was the kid in that Floyd Manny All Access back in the day, but he looks prone to like getting defeated eventually. I mean, not everybody can be. I see flaws with him. Maybe he'll get it fixed, but I see some flaws with him. But he's a good fighter though. He brings it. Yeah.
And I know Cortez, he'll be facing Freddie Fonseca, and that's like I said, that should be a that should be a really good scrap there. There's something for everything. Like this Top Rank card is actually it's a well put together card. If you watch it from beginning to end, of course.
Like us boxing junkies do.
Yeah, like we do. And since it's one of Top Rank's biggest cards, so obviously we will. We will watch it. So yeah, definitely that day. We will not watch it because we won't be. We are watching. We won't cast that particular day. But yeah, no, I look forward to it. It's like I'll probably make sure I go to the gym super early just so I can get back in time and everything like that because it'll be kind of wild for me. It'll still be a trip. I think that is it. But before we get up out of here, I gotta talk about football shit. So Deontay Jones, man, what did I say, bro? What the fuck did I say? Like you can. I will say this though. You Cowboys, you motherfuckers scrapped. Like you guys, Dak had a fucking field day. Like dude was slinging that football like a like he threw for almost like 400 yards, pilot, like something like that, like 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that was a crazy game. I'm not gonna lie, the fucking Cowboys had 3 shots in the end. Like they had 3 chances. You know what I'm saying? Like 3 drives. It felt like to get the lead, but Eagles defense, man. Like the Eagles defense stepped up when they had to, majorly.
Yeah, because honestly, as an Eagles fan, like that, like I get it. All these division games are always gonna be a motherfucker, like like Commanders or the Giants or especially the punk ass Cowboys, man. Like especially the punk ass Cowboys. But this game was just something different. Like I know both Eagles and Cowboys fans that I know, we were all saying like this was just a different ass fight, like this different ass game, like honestly, like I was like I'm over here sitting at I'm sitting on my couch, like really standing up right now, and because this nigga LB, he texted me in the middle of he texted me while I was watching this game, talking about can I put some bets in for basketball. I'm like, nigga, do you see I'm watching these Eagles? Like, what is you doing? It's like. I was like, it's like, you should ask P. P would have done that shit for you. Like, I did it, but I was just like, you gotta like, if I'm watching these Eagles, man, I don't want to be putting money. I don't want to be making no bets on FanDuel. The reason why is because FanDuel is not legal in Florida. So on occasion, LB will send me some money to put in some bets on occasion, and in this particular case, he did it during this particular Eagles game. I was just like, fuck. Like, I did it, and because I just did it real quick because the NBA games were starting. But I was like, yo, you can't be doing that because this fucking game had so many ebbs and flows. But yeah, you're right. Like, because I know most people were like, oh no, the refs were trying to give the Eagles the game. Nigga, the Eagles were trying to give the Cowboys the game. Like, the fuck?
I mean, again, like I swear, like it was 2023. Cowboys had 3 shots. In the last drive, they actually made it to the goal line. So,
Cowboys were first and goal at the 6-yard line.
You were probably tripping. You're like, because it was like if they scored a touchdown, the game was over. You're probably on the cusp of fucking breaking that shit.
Yeah, honestly, I was over here like I was getting ready to like break something. Like I don't know if it was gonna be my table or the lamp or something, but I was getting like, nigga, I was getting ready to lose my shit. And then of course, then Dak gets sacked 2 times. I think there was another penalty, and then all of a sudden it's like 3rd and whatever the fuck, and then
they got a little closer, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and then Dak, for whatever reason, throws to CeeDee Lamb, who and has no one. Like CeeDee Lamb is literally all by himself, knowing damn well. Like, I'm not saying that the Eagles secondary is competent, but there's 3 of them motherfuckers in the area, and no one to at least for not even a lateral. Like, there's no other Cowboys fighter out there to lateral. Like, you couldn't wait till someone at least was there so you could throw it to them, and maybe they could lateral away from the secondary like that. But as soon as Lamb caught that shit, there was no one latch, and they all tackled him.
You got jumped like by 5-6 niggas on that last one.
Yeah, and I think to myself, God damn, that was a whole bunch of stupid shit. And of course, they didn't spike the ball. There was a whole lot of like mental errors that they did that drained the clock. They didn't have no timeouts, none of that shit. Like, it was a mess. But Deontay Jones, bro, like, this is why, like I said, this is why the Cowboys don't win shit. Like, because they do these bonehead moves like that. Like honestly, right now, like, we have a 2.5 game lead in the NFC East.
Y'all are comfy. Y'all are 8-1, right?
Yeah, we're 8-1 going into our bye week.
I think the Cowboys now are 5-3. What are the Redskins? They're the Redskins to me. Fucking, I'm sorry.
They're like 4-5, I think, something like that.
Sam Howell's a decent, but yeah, y'all got the division easy. I mean, unless
I think we have 3 division wins. I think
it's looking like the Super Bowl. It's looking like Chiefs Eagles too, but you never know.
But the Chiefs aren't looking that hot though, bro.
But they're winning the games, you know what I'm saying? They got the pedigree and they win the games.
Nigga, they lost to the Broncos, bro. Like,
but they're still like, they won. They beat the Dolphins never played good against. I like Tua, but the Dolphins never played good against top teams. I don't know what to think of the Dolphins because they get beat up on the shitty teams. But I don't know in the AFC, like maybe the Bengals again. But right now, the Chiefs. I mean,
right now, I think the Ravens might actually come out of
the Ravens. Low key, yeah, that's a good one. The Ravens low key are playing pretty, yeah.
As long as there's no injuries to their QB, like, to
any QB, but yeah, Lamar is a little,
Lamar, I know Lamar had issues with his knee and everything like that, so we gotta make sure that's because like I said, as long as they're healthy, honestly, because like I said, Mahomes, they haven't looked overly. They win, like I said, I think they're like us. They are winning, but they haven't looked all that. They haven't looked all that dominant, impressive. Like I said, but then the Broncos though, like, who had them fucking losing to the fucking Broncos? Niggas had 70 put on them by Miami, and they're losing to the Broncos. Like, that's like 1 + 1 = 5 type shit. But yeah, the Cowboys though, like I said, but the Cowboys were in a position like our quarterback was limping. We have injuries. We have a secondary that's like absolutely trash. It was a recipe for the Cowboys to win, and they couldn't win.
Yeah, that was the recipe. Yeah, that was good. I mean, again, the Cowboys play you guys tough because it looked like for the longest you guys were comfortably winning, but Cowboys made a little late run, but you've held them off when you had to.
Yeah, like the defense woke up when we needed to because we were able to get through. And but like I said, we're like after the bye week, we're entering our longest stretch of our toughest stretch of the season. Like, we got the Chiefs, we got the Bills, we got the Cowboys again. Like, we got the Seahawks. Like, we got teams that we got a stretch like. If we go undefeated in November, most likely we're gonna clinch in the first week of December. We'll clinch a playoff spot either at the end if we can go undefeated, because right now we're 8-1. So pretty much I think probably the number is probably 12 or 13, depending right now of when we actually can clinch a playoff spot. And I know.
I mean, as long as Hurts and everybody's good, you guys. I think AJ Brown might be the best receiver. I'm not saying this because you're, but I'm just saying AJ Brown was playing the best football as a receiver right now. I feel like he's balling, man.
Easy. Yeah. AJ Brown is the best receiver in the league. Like,
it's not even hard to say right now when all the injuries, Jefferson's hurt and everything. Yeah, he's balling out like nobody else right now on the wideouts, man.
Yeah, no, it's that's why it's like we need to the Eagles need to get the Super Bowl win for all time because it's gonna be, it's gonna be because it won't look right if we do all this. It'll be like last season, and then the Chiefs pull it out on because of some ref fuckery. Definitely Jones, y'all are 8 and done with these damn close ass dubs, dog. Hey man, a dub is a dub, man. I mean, I can read some of the scores of your Cowboys games, bro. Like I said, you guys lost. You guys got 55 hung on you. You guys got hung on you. 42 hung on you by the Niners, who had to take it easy on y'all, and y'all lost to the Cardinals by by 2 scores. Like, what are we talking about here? You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys were not. You guys weren't sharp enough. Like, now you guys got the Giants on Sunday, so I'm if you guys lose to the Giants, then I'm assuming that your season is probably on the ropes. Even though I think the Giants, I think they beat the shit out of the Giants earlier this season, anyways already. So
well, I mean, Daniel Jones is done. Towards ACL. Tyrod Taylor's. They're definitely trying to get the Caleb Williams pick, which they might get if
that's right. They're down to their 3rd string.
They're down to their 3rd string. They're done this year, and I like their coach. The coach got to the playoffs last year, but yeah, the Giants are cooked this year. The Commanders are kind of like showing improvement, but obviously they're not talented enough to fuck with you guys. So it's an easy division right now. I mean,
no, the Commanders though, because again, this is one of those games where Sam Howell was looking all fucking world against us. We got into a shootout with Sam Howell.
He shows you decent sometimes. Yeah, sometimes he shows you decent. That game he did. That game because y'all have to come back, right? Y'all kind of have to come back halfway to win that.
Yeah, we had to come back because we won by 1 score. Like
it was a close game. It was a close game all the way through.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad that we at least cleared the Commandos, and at least we got we'll clear the Cowboys like we usually do. Because we don't face the Giants until December, but which is wild that we're waiting that long to face them. But then by that time, it's going to be like, okay, it'll probably be like seeding.
That by that point, yeah. I mean, you guys are, you guys should have a number. Well, look who we have. We got somebody here.
Oh shit, King P. Like just as we're winding down, man. What's good, King P?
What's going on, guys? Just wanted to tap in. Salute. My bad, couldn't make it. Was out, meeting with people, good people, Shout out to Nika, shout out to Christine, great people.
Give your stuff, your picks for the Shakur fight real quick since you're here.
Shakur, late KO. I'm thinking like 11th round stoppage. Navarrete, mid round, like I'll say 6th round KO.
Okay, yeah, that's what we're thinking because I was rattling off like the odds for the fight, and Del Santos is a pretty sizable underdog, and so is fucking Conceicao. So it's like, yeah, they're both sizable underdogs though. But except I think Shakur will probably win that by the decision though. But yeah, Navarrete should get dude out of there though. There's no question about that.
I wouldn't be surprised if Shakur takes him the distance and wins an easy decision. I just think Los Santos, with the way he fights and the pace that he fights, there's a good chance he might be tired, and I think by the later rounds he might gas, and Shakur might just make a statement and just take the deep waters and take him out late.
Yeah, and like I said, I could definitely say it because that's why we're putting value, because I think Shakur KO is like plus 320. So like, if there's any value in betting on that fight, betting on Shakur KO is probably your best bet.
Yeah. Also, Conceicao is kind of a little bit long in the tooth, and Navarrete style is horrible for him. So I expect him to get the stoppage.
Yeah, there shouldn't be any uh-ohs in that Navarrete. If there is that Navarrete, then something else is going on. Navarrete, if Navarrete has another uh-oh like he did against Liam Wilson and Baez. You know.
Yeah, no, I don't envision that happening, but who knows? We'll see. He should get him out of there mid rounds, and then I think that'll set up Navarrete versus Shakur next.
Yep, and truthfully, I would love that fight too. Like that's a quality fucking fight. I would love to see that fight. You know, but yeah, no, I think we since we got King P's input. I know LB was supposed to hop on, but I think LB can take a little break for today because LB be doing a lot of work that you don't see in the background. So yeah, you know, my man will probably join us on Thursday. You know, when we ranting, because I believe we will probably be doing like a boxing versus MMA type of rant. There might be some more details that we'll probably release on that. Probably in like later on this week and everything like that. And Deontay Jones, man, don't trust me. Just sit back and watch the Eagles work, bro. Like we've pretty much wrapped up the division as it is. Like, you know, there's like we're 3-0 already in the division. So yeah, just sit back and just enjoy the show. You know, like, you know, and you worry about your own pushing to the playoffs. But yeah, so yeah, I think we gotta get up out of here. I know King P already, you know, he did his intro. I don't know if King P, if you have any final thoughts or anything like that.
I'm good. You know what it is. So I ain't got more to say.
Word. Hey, yo, Pilot, your final thoughts?
I don't got much to say. Shouts out to the gang, you know. Shouts out to LB. Shouts out to Rome. Everybody else listening. Glad P could make it late. But you know, so slow week of boxing. We got a couple things this week, but nothing major. Just stay in tune with us. I think we're gonna be back Thursday. And that's all I got. Ring and Radio. You know where we at.
Yeah, you know, again, you know, shout out to the whole crew. Shout out to King P for joining, you know, late and whatnot. LB, you know, he has a little night off or whatever. Shout out to him. Shout out to the rest of the crew. They doing their thing. And yeah, man, like, you know, support us, man. You know, like I said, you know, we got the shit that you want and need. And yeah, just you know, like I said, especially of our website and our YouTube. So yeah. Listen, like, comment, subscribe. Tell everyone to do the same, and we can all be friends. And I know you see that scrolling banner. You know, we got that PayPal if you want to donate to the Ring and Radio or whatever. And like I said, we appreciate your patronage and your listening, and for you to take time to listen to us, you know, talk about this boxing, and also when we rant about other things. So, excuse me. So yeah, you know, for myself, you know, Pat Scorpio, the New England representative. For King P, Bodega P, and for Conscious Pilot, you know, this has been another wonderful episode of Real Talk, where as always, shit's real, we talk about it. So until next time, peace. Cowboys suck.